So I've got a 50-pound bag and a 25-pound bag of flour that I need to vacuum seal today. And I've noticed that there's a lot of people that are hesitant with vacuum sealing flour because it makes a mess, and a lot of people say it sucks up into their food saver machines. So there's actually two ways that you can vacuum seal flour, and I'll show you both ways. I only do it the one way. I don't like to put things inside my vacuum seal bags, and one way is actually putting it inside your vacuum seal bag, a napkin. So I'll show you that, and then I'll go through and I'll actually vacuum seal one. This is how they come out, the way that I do it. So I always flatten them so I can stack them better. But a common misconception about vacuum sealing flour, like you do your meats and vegetables and fruits, is that you have to get every little piece of air out, and you don't have to do that with flour. So if you have a little bit of air left in your bag, it's okay. It's not going to hurt the flour. Your flour is still going to stay good for 5 years, even 6 years. So I'm going to go ahead and get a bag, and I will show you guys how I do this. And also, by the way, the growing season is just starting. And so we are going to be building raised beds. Hopefully that will start next weekend. And I am going to show you guys a little bit of the process of us doing that, a little bit of the building and stuff. And then I'm going to take you guys from germinating the seeds, which I've got some germinating already, but all the way to growing your plants. And we'll talk about plant nutrition, what certain plants need, diseases, and pests, all natural pests. We do grow organically, and we use very, very minimal products at all. Diatomaceous earth is something that we use a lot of. It's messy, but it works fantastic, and it's food grade. So I will take you guys through our whole adventure this season, which I'm pretty excited about. And then after everything is harvested and done, and sometimes actually during harvest, I do canning, and I will show you guys water bath canning, pressure canning, approved recipes for that, and take you through preserving, drying, and preserving other foods too. So hopefully this channel will help some people out. I'm not here for a lot of followers. I'm not here to make money or anything like that. I'm just sharing what I've learned, and I hope that you guys can learn some stuff too, because this is actually a lot of fun, and it saves a lot of money doing it on your own, and Lord knows what we get put in our food these days. So if you can grow it on your own, then that's fantastic. So here's the one way that people can do flour if they want it completely airtight. It gets almost brick hard when they do it airtight, and it makes it hard for me to store. I have small cabinet space, so I have to get mine laying flat so that I can stack it or put it in a row, and that's how I store most of my stuff is, food saver bags and flat. I'll actually show you guys my cabinet. But you take a paper towel, and you'll fold it in half like this. And if it's longer than your food saver bag, that's fine. Just fold the ends in like that. Then you'll take your bag and you'll slide your napkin in once you've got your flour in there. You'll bring these out to the ends just like that. Leave some space on the top, and that's where it's going to vacuum seal. And what this will do is it'll allow the air to get out, but it won't let the flour get out. So you will have a napkin sealed inside with your flour, but it'll be no air, rock hard seal. And like I said, I don't like to do that just because I don't want to put a napkin in with my flour. It's just my personal preference. So I'm going to grab my scoop and bag this up and show you guys how it works. Just doing it the old-fashioned way. And I make a lot of homemade stuff. We grow our own stuff, and I bake a lot, which is why we get so much flour, because I actually make our own bread. I do 2 loaves a week. We don't usually eat it all, but with the kids, sometimes we do. And so I measure this at 2.5 pounds, which is generally between 6 and 7 cups of flour, because that's what it takes to make the 2 loaves of bread, one batch of bread. And next time I make the bread, I'll actually record it, and I'll show you guys through the process of making the bread and how I do it. And maybe you guys can make your own bread too. It's absolutely delicious, and it's really good for you. No preservatives, anything like that. So definitely takes a while. You get your strong arms going from kneading the dough. And so you'll definitely build up those muscles. You ever wonder why your great-grandma and your grandma had strong hands and strong arms? And it's from all that kneading, that dough, I'll tell you. Makes you tired. Makes you strong, though. All right. So here's the bag. This is 2.5 pounds, 6 to 7 cups of flour for 2 loaves of bread. And I will actually turn this a little bit so you guys can see what it does. Now, I leave my bag sitting straight up and down. It tends to help prevent the flour from going into the machine. A lot of people will actually lift their bag up like this and hold it up to the side, and that just kind of helps the machine get the flour inside of it. So if you do it like this, you really won't get flour inside your machine. So anyways, do this, and here we go. And there you go. And it's packed good for 5 years, you know. It will stay good longer, but for food safety regulation reasons, they say vacuum sealing it does it for about 5 years. So I'll sit here and I'll play with it for a second, and I'll get it moved around, because there still is a tiny bit of air in there, even though it doesn't look like it. I can move my flour around and get it laid flat so that I can store it. Sometimes it takes a minute if it seals really hard. So anyway, so that's it. That's vacuum packing your flour so that you can buy it in bulk. Still have it years down the road if you don't use it that fast. It does save money, and I like to save money. So even if you don't do a lot of baking, go buy a 25-pound bag or a 50-pound bag if you want. And you won't have to buy flour again for a long time. So it's definitely worth it. And you don't have to worry about the bags ripping open like the paper bags. I really don't like how flour and everything's stored in paper. It rips easy. If you get your cabinet full of stuff, it pokes the bag, then you get flour everywhere. So, alright, there it is. I'll label it, go stick it in my stack, and get to doing this other 50-pound bag and the rest of the 25-pound bag that I'm working on right now. So, I will see you guys hopefully this weekend when we're doing some building, and you can see some of that. And it's going to be an exciting year. So, you guys have a wonderful afternoon, and I hope to see you this weekend.